Hello folks, welcome again to another one of these Dragon Ball Super chapter reviews. I have with me, as always, my co-host, Syd Part 2.
Howdy folks.
And we're diving into We Were Both Right, the chapter, technically.
Yeah, so at the end of the last chapter, I was like, oh no man, Granola's just gonna be like his freaking lackey, and he's gonna go and his boss is gonna be like ultra powerful compared to him. And yeah, and Alfie's all like, oh no, Granola's like a tough old survivor, and so we're getting the baby arc in Super. That's the craziness. And then Granolah goes to a boss, and the boss isn't tougher, but the boss's head lackey is tougher. And then it's also revealed that he's a survivor of the Saiyan attacks. And I'm like, why aren't we just writing this shit, Alfie?
I mean, I'm sorry to everyone if we continue to do these and we just spoil these chapters with our big brain fifth dimensional imp powers, apparently. But no, you don't understand. I was so... As it went on, I was like, okay. But those opening pages are, first of all, gorgeous. The design of Granola's home planet and the silhouettes of the apes and the destruction. This might be my favorite depiction of a Saiyan invasion yet, because it's just so... There was no okay, this is a cool action sequence, or they're really the heroes we're meant to root for. This is the perspective of people who would have had to suffer through this. And I'm like, yeah, I love how this is done. But also, I'm just like, oh my god, he is a tough one! But then, as we went on, they say he's a Cyrillian. And we'll see how the double whatever pronounces that. Because with Dragon Ball puns, sometimes they're not directly literal. But yeah, that opening sequence and Granola's whole thing, and you can tell from the scar, because obviously this is pre-anything, but it's Bardock! Did all that thing. Brilliant opening. What a way to start an arc.
Yeah, for sure. I lost it at the Bardock thing. I thought it was really cool already, just because you know me, I freaking love my Uzarus. And then to see the Bardock Great Ape, I was like, oh, that's so awesome. Because, that's been a complaint among the fandom that, you and I have talked about. We're like, no, just because Bardock's somewhat nicer-ish in the Broly movie compared to where he was in the Bardock special, he's still a bad person who did the genocides, and so we've gotten little previews throughout Super of Bardock doing them genocides, and I think this is the most direct one.
And that again is a really interesting choice. And then Granolah kind of talking about him having very much again, the baby thing. He's definitely inspired by that. I don't think you can deny that. But kind of in the same way where Toyotaro kind of took a lot of his idea for Zycor in his Dragon Ball AF manga and then changed a lot of the details but kept the spirit of the thing for the Goku Black arc. It feels like what this is happening with Baby is we're keeping the spirit of the thing, but we're changing details here and now with all of his thing. But I again, Granola's talking about it, and it's a very good way to make him a bit more of a likable character, albeit one who, I guess the universe is pretty big, so you can buy it, but he's like, oh yeah, Planet Vegeta got destroyed by a meteor, and Frieza's been dead for years. Just okay, so you have not been checking the news.
Yeah, I don't know, it's interesting, because it's so hard to timeline this stuff out, because Frieza gets brought back to life at the end of the Tournament of Power, Broly happens, Moro happens. We know, at least 2 months transition during the Moro arc. We don't know how long... Broly is implied to... Or Moro is implied to begin right after Kakarot, or Goku, teleports away at the end of the Broly movie. So it's kind of vague how much time has passed between Frieza's resurrection and his second resurrection. Yeah, second resurrection and his and now, So it is kind of I guess we as fans, Frieza's been alive again for 3-4 years now, but in universe, maybe that's only been a couple months? Question mark.
Yeah, no, you're probably right on that at best, and And then even then, not Vegeta, Frieza's kind of given the implication he's trying to lay low a little bit, and because he's kind of wised up after all the shenanigans with his previous revival, so he's trying to play it a bit smarter than before, while still making Frieza-like mistakes. The Planet Vegeta thing is the one that I think makes the most sense, because even Vegeta didn't know about that until he had to beat the information out of people. So that, I imagine, is kind of like, again, to follow up our last episode, all the Star Wars comparisons, it's like the Empire suppressing information. It's like the Frieza Force doing that for the galaxy. Is everyone just knows Planet Vegeta got blown up by a meteor. That's just a fact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I like that. It'll be interesting to see how this threads together, because, obviously he has a problem with Saiyans, but Granola's main, source of anger is definitely at Frieza. So I'm beginning to wonder if Granola's going to be the villain or not, or if this is going to be kind of, your Namek-style tenuous alliance, where for whatever reason, Granolah has to team up with, Goku and Vegeta to take down Frieza or something. And then there's, not to skip right to the end, but hey, let's skip right to the end. There's the revelation with the Oracle Fish, where it's like the strongest in the universe is returning. And so it's like, okay, so yeah, maybe the main threat of the saga has yet to be introduced, and Granolah is going to be like this tenuous ally. What if Granolah is more like the Beerus role in this arc?
Mm-hmm. I think that's that could definitely be a direction. I'm almost wanting to go in the Dragon Ball direction of like the other direction, where Granolah is after Frieza and all of his stuff with this, but due to their previous alliances and Goku kind of liking Frieza being around, Goku's gonna be teaming up with Frieza. And that's how you get to the Saiyans working under Frieza again comparisons and like all of this, but like in a completely different dynamic, where Goku's just like, well, I don't want anyone to die, so, and you probably don't need to do this. So like, there'll be more contrivances, I'm sure, but just on that base, like, Goku selfish level of wanting to have Frieza around, because Frieza's a good motivator and Frieza's a good rival. I think maybe we might get into that, where Granolah would be like, see, I knew you Saiyans were under Frieza's boot, and then like Goku's like, no, it's I'm just doing this, but then Frieza's like, oh yes, they are all still serving me. Yeah. I guess while you brought up the topic, I will jump ahead to the end. Given we talk so much about Saiyans with this, I'm thinking that last line is about we're gonna get a Broly thing.
I mean, maybe. It does seem like we're kind of been waiting on Broly to show up. I know a lot of people are like, oh, what if Broly shows up to fight Moro or something? So it does feel like we kind of have been waiting on Broly to, join the main cast and everything. I guess it depends on who's the one behind this one.
This is Toriyama.
This is Toriyama.
Yeah.
Well, then that seems like that might be more likely. I think that whatever the strongest in the universe thing is going to be like, this universe's equivalent of Jiren, who's been asleep for billions of years, or something crazy, something, that's set up but not set up. Especially with like the brief mention of Lord Zuno. The knowledge broker, because you've set him up, which is this is the classic Toriyama move, right? With like the power pole that also gets you to Kami's lookout, just like Lord Zuno, who knows everything. Also, what if we just went to Lord Zuno and asked, "Hey, who's the strongest in this universe?" And then it's like, "Oh yeah, it's this guy." Might be the direction that's headed in. I don't know. Broly, I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up, and oh man, I hate to say it. What if Broly's the heel? What if Broly's the one that gets like taken out to show how tough this new threat is?
Yeah, or like in the sense of like, Because Frieza at the end of the Broly movie is like, oh, I want to work with Broly. I want him to be my Vegeta, effectively. Is what if this is the situation, like Granolah, because he's targeting Frieza. Like, from what information he does know, he's like, oh yeah, Chile and Lemma, you were the part of the Frieza Force, and he goes after them. And then Broly steps in, and that's how you. And then through situations, Frieza's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'll help you fight them. Come with me." And then all of that stuff goes down. I could see maybe not even Goku teaming up with Frieza, but that's how we get the Broly Frieza team up, is through shenanigans like that, and Frieza taking good advantage of the situation.
Certainly. I don't know. So, like, predictions aside, one thing I want to make sure we talk about is the Whis, Beerus, Goku, Vegeta scene. Because I think that's probably my favorite part of this chapter. Like, I really like the Bardock stuff. But my second favorite, was the whole scene with Goku and Whis. Because, you know, like, the fandom and I mean, like, with everything, the shiny new toy gets like really hyped up with Ultra Instinct starting in the Tournament of Power, and like realize that Super was always building up to Ultra Instinct. And then you have Moro, like, as the story that's the whole point, is like actually learning and not just, you know, accidentally touching Ultra Instinct. And now we've got it, and it seems like, well, Ultra Instinct's just this endpoint forever now, right? Like, there's nothing better than it. And yet, it just feels so obvious in retrospect, because when Whis showed up and, you know, like, one-armed block Moro when he had absorbed Ultra Instinct, and now Whis is still fucking tossing Goku around. It's like, yeah, no, my Ultra Instinct mastery is far above yours, and the Grand Priest is far above mine. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's I guess we're gonna get like grades of Ultra Instinct like we got with grades of Super Saiyan.
Probably. It feels like that, but it also feels like, to me, it feels less like the grades. And like, there's another manga I read called Kuroko no Basket, and they have that thing where like they have this form. It's called like the zone, where like you get so into like the state of mind, right, that you're just there and you can do it. It's, again, very similar to Ultra Instinct, but they have levels to that where it's just like how deep you are into it, of like how deep you get into that state of mind is like, it's like a completely 180. Ultra Instinct feels like that to me. Is Goku has opened the door, and in the Tournament of Power, and then in the Moro arc he learned how to step into it and open the door at will. But now he has to actually walk through the door and keep walking. And like Whis is like all the way over here in front of him, like miles ahead, and then the Grand Priest, you can barely like see his silhouette. He's so far ahead. So I think like Goku is in here now. He's not going to open up a new door or like the other Super Saiyan forms. He just has to walk with this one, and this is his path. This is his thing that will probably take him the rest of his life.
Yeah, and I like that quite a bit. I think that's a smart way to take like this ultimate thing and say, no, it's not the end. It's just a new beginning. That is a very Dragon Ball thing to do, because, you know, I mean, I think you and I are guilty of it too. We're talking about Ultra Instinct. It's like, wow, it just feels so like the end. How do you go beyond, like, your body is thinking and acting on its own? And you say, yeah, but that doesn't mean you're any good at it. I really like that. Like, yeah, you've gotten to the point where now your body thinks and acts on its own, but doesn't make good decisions. Is a really smart way to deal with that. So I'm quite pleased with that. I think that's a pretty good direction to send Goku off on Ultra Instinct. But now we gotta talk about the other one.
Yeah, this is the one that I was like, oh, I read this and immediately was just like, Ian's gonna squeal. This is exactly your shit. Yeah, please go into it.
I mean, you got Beerus and Vegeta sitting there like clearly jealous of Goku for Ultra Instinct, and then Beerus is like, oh well, I'm not going to depend fully on that angel form. We gods of destruction have our own tools. It's like, wait, what? Can you show me? I'm not a teacher. I didn't get into this train. I'm gonna go on a walk, wake myself up. You know, if you see anything you want to steal, go ahead and take it. And I'm like, and you know, Vegeta chasing after him, and like, okay, So here we go. Wild speculation, theory time. Ready?
Uh-huh,
Ready
go,
for
go,
this?
go, go.
Beerus ain't got shit. Beerus ain't got a goddamn thing, and he knows it. He's hoping Vegeta will give him something instead. That's my fucking theory. Vegeta's like so determined to surpass Goku without using Ultra Instinct, and Beerus is like, conceptually there should be something there, yeah. I just need to push him to find it, and then I'll take it.
Yeah, that's actually genius. I didn't even think of that. That is 100% a Beerus move, because Beerus is lazy. Is his final thing. I will say there's probably, I think Beerus will do something next chapter, which will be like a hint or like I've got a rough sketch of what this might look like, but I really don't want to put the work in to figure out how to make it all go together or what have you. It'd just be like but then Vegeta will be like, oh, Lord Beerus is showing me just the peak of this full power he's already figured out. I must reach it. I must achieve this power. And then Vegeta will do it. And then the thing you'll happen is Beerus will be like, kind of like King Kai with Kaioken Head. He'll be like, wow, I never thought of that, but I'll take credit.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of my thoughts on it. It's like, it seems like that'd be the subversive move, right? You gotta think of the most like subversive shit. So it's, instead of Beerus has the ultimate technique, it's Beerus knows that Vegeta can figure it out if he just has the right kind of push, and Beerus will give it to him. I don't know. You know, predictions are always are worth the hell of beans. You know, you and I see it with our series, and so I'm sure fucking Toyotaro is listening to this and just giggling with Toriyama next to it. It's like, oh, they think Vegeta's gonna unlock something special. We got him again.
Laughs in quotation marks. No, you're right. That is pretty cool. I wonder if it's gonna be, because I don't think like the spirit control thing that we set up last time is gonna get thrown away. I think that's the foundation. I think that's Vegeta's equivalent of Omen, where like, alright, he's set the foundation, now he can build on it. That he has this thing that Goku doesn't, that no other character has, that we've seen so far at least, and now he's gonna use that with God of Destruction stuff and like keep building on it, and we'll get something crazy for Vegeta. I know Anime AJ posted on Twitter, and you let me know how you think of this, but he's like, man, I hope Vegeta gets purple hair.
Yeah, I saw that too. I don't know, man. Like the Power Rangers Saiyans are a fun idea. I'm sure they'll do something with it to signify the level of power. Purple hair would be cool. I mean, purple's a royal color, so that works for him. Purple or gold, that'd be pretty dope. Well, I mean, he already got Super Saiyan stuff. But yeah, purple would be pretty cool if that's the signifier of it. That's a good point with the spirit vision. Maybe going in some direction with that. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be. I know it's gonna be hype. I really enjoyed this chapter, man. This is a good chapter.
This is a really good chapter. This is a really, because we only got like a little taste, because last chapter was more just like setting up the Moro arc. This is a really good condensed, good scenes into scenes. Nothing drags on too long. You get all you need to from the thing to keep you wanting more from this chapter. Where I guess while we've got some time, we'll talk about like the bit with like Granola's gang. Well, not his gang, but like he's a bounty hunter and he meets up with the rest of the gang, which is like oil and gas, and I'm sure the rest of the names will be different kinds of fuel or something along those lines. They're very BoJack, which I've seen people point out. But I like, again, it's this super trend of like taking an idea, the base amount of it, and then retooling it into something which to me is already way more interesting than BoJack ever was with these guys. I like a lot of the designs. I like the dreadlocks in Dragon Ball art style. That's a really cool thing that you never see before with how Dragon Ball hair works, and that's really cool. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't think these guys will be like the main threat or anything. I think these are just there to set bigger things in motion. Of like that they will fuck something up, almost like the Pilaf gang, where like it will then result in the unsealing of King Piccolo or some stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling something in that direction too. They're like the scummy villains that you don't care. Like you take a little glee in seeing them die, kind of thing. As I feel the direction, because that would be a good way to do that. You set up your real threat by showing that these guys that were stronger than Granolah are just like consumed by this thing or whatever. So yeah, something with that, and some with them with Lord Zuno. I think those are the pieces that we're given, and we'll just see how it all comes together.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this chapter. I thought all the art was fantastic. Torotaro has been really good at locations and like setting up like their base is really interesting. It's got like tree vines all over it, and it's very detailed. Like, and the shading of it, everything is like, damn. For the amount of people that critique like his artwork and stuff, I don't think enough people put into the amount of detail he puts into these panels and pages is insane. Especially again, like look at that opening page with like Granola's whole city. Like that is just amazingly detailed from like bit to bit, and it's just a panel, and with the moon and everything, it's like really really strong chapter. I feel this one. It's got me very excited for where this arc is gonna go.
For sure. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it too.
Okie dokie. Unless you've got anything else you want to say, we should close up.
Do we want to go like even crazier predictions, like just to double down?
That's a fun thing we can do at the end of each of these, because then you guys in the comments can get involved in this as well. All right, so like we'll go. All right, craziest prediction. This is the Geeks for Fun crackpot predictions hour. Well, minute, but go.
Okay. So Granolah is gonna get iced right at the beginning of the next chapter. His whole quest was just completely a misdirect. Frieza's gonna ice him, and then Frieza's gonna be on some kind of like Frieza's gonna be the main character of the next chapter. Frieza's gonna unlock the dreaded evil. There we go.
Okay, so here's my crackpot prediction. Vegeta's gonna follow Beerus, and this is where we'd get the reveal that Beerus actually shaves himself all the time, and he's gonna unleash his fur, and that's gonna give Vegeta the idea for Super Saiyan 4. Beerus is actually like a really fluffy cat. He just shaves himself, and then Vegeta's gonna be like, "Oh, I can do that too!" And then this really will become GT.
I like it. Yeah. Super Saiyan 4. Man, Super Saiyan 4 would be like the hypest way to do that, is have Goku keep, going down the god path and have Vegeta go back to like Primal Saiyan route.
This was meant to be crackpot, not legitimately cool direction. Let us know, put hashtag Geeks for Fun crackpot.
yeah, crackpot theories.
Crackpot theories. Get them in the comments, and also just let us know what you thought of the chapter in general. We'll be back next month with another one of these. Until then, have fun, geeks.
Have fun, geeks.